Hello, and welcome to this countdown to Easter, a series of short reflections in which we're going to look at some of the moments that took place in Easter week and perhaps go a bit off the beaten track in our choice of events. Now, I thought it would be fun, while we're all in lockdown, to just take another look at Palm Sunday. That's today, the day that Jesus was welcomed by a huge crowd into Jerusalem. And they certainly gave him the red carpet treatment. Now, by the letter of the law, everyone should walk to the festival, and Jesus had already done that by walking all the way from Galilee. So why did he swap to a donkey? Well, the people knew very well what this meant as he came riding into Jerusalem on a donkey. He was entering Jerusalem as their Messiah. There's a well-known prophecy that the Messiah would ride into Jerusalem on a donkey, and here he was. And so they welcomed him as such. Now, it's in the wake of his arrival that this happened. You'll find it in Mark chapter 11, verse 11. Jesus entered Jerusalem and went to the temple courts. He looked around at everything, but since it was already late, he went out to Bethany with the 12, where presumably he bedded down for the night. Now, read that quickly, and we'd be forgiven for thinking it's just a convenient piece of linking narrative. But there's more to it than that. And it's the original Greek text that gives the game away. The two words that Mark uses to describe this tell us that this was not a casual glance. Jesus wasn't going into the temple, for example, and sort of admiring the grandeur of it, going, wow. He's looking around. He's observing carefully. He's taking note of what he's seeing. And Mark says that he did this to everything. It gives us the impression that he poked his nose into the rooms and round the corners. He looked at what was going on, at who was there, and why they were doing what they were doing, and he assessed it all. This is a recce. He's sizing up the place. Now, I sometimes wonder, if Jesus came to my house and did that, what would he spot? What would thrill his heart about what's going on in my home during the lockdown? And what might make him sad or uneasy? While we're in lockdown, that's a good question to ask ourselves. There's no need to get unduly heavily about it. Just ask, Jesus, what thrills you? And is there anything that saddens you about me or my home or the atmosphere I'm creating? Now, what did he conclude from his recce in the temple? Well, we're not told exactly, but we do know what his reaction was, and that's tomorrow's story. See you then.